Offline play was fun when I first dove into the game, but as I played more in advance I kind of came to the conclusion Mario Kart World really wasn't that great of a game, and I'm sure that doesn't come as a surprise to many. As it's no secret this is inferior to its predecessor, 8 Deluxe. One good look at the character roster for one, which exceeds questionability, as one good look and you immediately get the feeling someone was scavenging through a toy box and coming to the conclusion anything miscellaneous would work. I say this because almost all the newcomers are just NPC filler characters, like Goomba, Coin Coffer, Cow, and all these other random animals that make me scoff with indifference. Not to mention the fact that the rest of the newcomers are just characters wearing costumes, thus taking up slots from fan favorites like Comic, who somehow got reduced to an item, Funky Kong and Petey Piranha. The only 3 newcomers who came off as charismatic and compelling to me were Nabbit, Spike, and Pianta, all of which were good to okay. I know that this game has a Mario-only character policy, which is fine by me, but it feels weird to discard the Miis after they've been a staple of the series ever since Wii. Regardless, I couldn't care less about playing as a snowman or a sidestepper. On a separate note, how did Kosuke Yabuki deem this roster as acceptable? Somehow I feel like he just wants to benefit himself and the rest of the staff at Nintendo. I know that Nintendo is most likely running out of ideas for newbies, but the most important thing to consider when making a roster for a game is quality over quantity. What makes things more weird is the fact that Nintendo also removed certain features that should have been staples of the series, such as the underwater mechanic, now replaced with water skiing style, the vehicle customization system, 200 cc's, and the anti-gravity mechanic, which got replaced by being able to drive on the walls for several seconds. Talk about a cheap knockoff. And the anti-gravity mechanic, which got replaced by being able to drive on the walls for several seconds. Talk about a cheap knockoff. Battle mode also suffered from oversimplification, because the only 2 modes now are Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. Shine Thief and Renegade Roundup are gone, and to make matters worse, 6 of the 8 tracks are just the race tracks, with Chain Chomp Desert and Big Donut from the N64 being the only exception. Mario Kart World has the 3rd worst battle mode in the series in my opinion, only beating Mario Kart Wii's and Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U's. The controls also feel more floaty in contrast to 8 Deluxe. It's difficult to articulate, but when I hop to drift, my kart always leans to the side and it just feels awkward and makes it feel like you're underwater. Online play can sometimes be a bit of a gamble, and that doesn't have to do with the luck, but rather the fact sometimes you're required to play intermission tracks rather than the classic 3-lap tracks whether you like it or not. I know they were trying something new, but playing interconnected tracks doesn't work for me, because it makes the course harder to memorize. The inclusion of 24 players comes across as a great idea on paper, however it pales in execution, as it just makes the tracks densely crowded, and causes items to become more chaotic, especially when you're in the middle of a pack of racers. That being said, this might be the most chaotic Mario Kart game when it comes to items. To add insult to injury, trying to survive Knockout Tour Online is also a complete nightmare, because that mode is heavily dependent on items, making it hard to survive and make it to the top 4. French running is also more dangerous given a blue shell can send you to elimination, and shocks are also the most disruptive due to the dependency of items, because if you get shocked while you're halfway to a checkpoint, you're most likely eliminated. I have to say in general this game tried to meet the standards that 8 Deluxe met, but failed to a major extent, and it makes me believe Nintendo usually goes with whatever they have planned on paper rather than test it out.